That was me trying to get focus, by the way. It wasn't on my eyes. Just gonna get a drink and then we're gonna talk SD cards. Okay, so I don't know what made me want to make this video, but I wanted to talk about SD cards for beginners, because I see a lot of people on like this M50 groups, Canon M50 groups, regardless of what camera you've got, you know, sort of the £500 budget vlogger cameras. And a lot of the people are buying SD cards, but they're buying micro SD cards to put into adapters to put into a bigger camera. Now, I'm going to tell you why that's wrong and why you need to be buying proper SD cards, why you shouldn't be skipping out paying decent money for decent SD cards. Because SD cards are 90% of a camera. Well, a lens is 90% of a camera. And then 9%... All I know is that an SD card is important. So the SD card I've currently got in my camera is 128 gigs, and what you need to be looking at is not the size of the SD card, is the write speed and the read speed. So the write speed is how fast your camera delivers data to that SD card. So if you shoot video on a camera, most of the time, 99% of the time, cameras are going to be recording in 100 megabits per second. So if you don't have an SD card that writes at 100 megabits per second minimum, then you are not getting the full quality of that camera. You're not getting the full quality of that video. So if you get a 90 megabit per second SD card, then you're going to be missing out on 10 more megabytes per second of data for that footage. Therefore, it's not going to look as good, and it's going to be harder to grade, and you're losing. So micro SD cards are made for drones, GoPros, action cams, just, you know, phones. That's what they're made for. They're not made for big cameras like this. So if you're shooting on, you know, a Canon, a Panasonic, some sort of big digital SLR camera body, then you need a proper SD card. So I'm using ProGrade 128 gigs. The write speed on it is 250 megabytes per second, and I wanted that card because my camera shoots at 180 megabits per second in 1080p. I know I'm I know I'm chucking a lot of numbers at you now, but hopefully it's making a little bit of sense. By the way, I thought I'd do the video down the garden, you know, have a beer and explain SD cards. I can't think of a better way to do it, really. Now, this doesn't just apply to video, it applies to photos as well. So if you want a camera that shoots, you know, high-speed photos, like just takes photos like that, like a 1DX or an A7, those have got pretty quick continuous shooting modes. Now, you need an SD card that's going to keep up with those shooting modes and isn't going to overload that data. It isn't going to overload the camera or the SD card in data, which means it'll slow down the SD card if you've got a slower SD, or if you've got a fast SD, you'll not have any problems. You can just keep firing them off and you're not going to have any problems. So in simpler terms, a fast SD card is the best SD card. A slow SD card, well, I mean, a fast and slow SD card, which one do you really think's better? I mean, it's obvious when you really think about it, but people tend to go on Amazon a lot. 15 quid for an SD card at 64 gig? Easy. The SD card that I have purchased is £170, so it's a pretty expensive SD card, but I know it's going to be able to keep up with the write speeds of my camera. Now, if you're going a little bit deeper into CF Express cards, compact flash, I think CFast, something like that. I can't remember the actual name, but CF Express, they write at about 1,400 megabits per second. Now, that's for cameras like 1DX Mark IIIs that'll take data in at stupid speeds. But we don't need to worry about that because we are beginners. But if you are worried about that, stop, because you don't need to be worried about that. If you're buying a camera that expensive, then you probably should know what you're doing. If you're buying a £500 camera, fine, you're probably not going to know about SD cards. But if you're buying a £6,500 camera, you probably should know what you're doing with SD cards at that point. Anyway, I've been recording for nearly 6 minutes now, and I've not even drank the whole beer. Not even had a whole pint in 6 minutes. It's taking me so long. The rest of this video is going to be me drinking the rest of this pint, so enjoy.